watching Republic.
Hello and welcome. You're watching the Saturday edition of This is Exclusive with me, Shavan said. We come to you tonight with three very special stories, starting with the exclusive details of the close aide of Anil Ambani, who's been taken into custody. What's the real story? How exactly forgery has led to huge loans being given to companies linked to Anil Ambani? All this and much more in this edition of This is Exclusive. But first, let me take you through the headlines we're tracking at this hour. Pakistan's opposition group Tehreek-e-Labbaik hits the streets in Lahore against the government. TLP chief claims 11 civilians killed by police as unrest grows. Afghan Foreign Minister Amir Muttaqi visits Darul Uloom in Uttar Pradesh's Deoband. Trouble mounts for business tycoon Anil Ambani. ED arrests CFO and Executive Director Ashok Kumar Pal in fake bank guarantee case. Inside scoop on NDA seat sharing. JDU to contest 101 seats with BJP to contest 100 seats. Starting this edition with some breaking news now coming in. It's a rerun of the RG Kaur case in Kolkata. In fact, a second-year-old student of a private medical college was allegedly dragged, raped inside a hospital premises in West Bengal. The incident quite reminiscent of the 2024 RG Kaur case where a junior doctor was raped and murdered. The survivor, who hails from Jaleshwar in Odisha, is pursuing her MBBS degree at the private medical college located near Shobhapur in Durgapur. Now, that happens to be the biggest industrial hub of West Bengal, located just about 170 kilometers from the capital city of Kolkata. In fact, parents of the survivor have now spoken out, and some of the details that we essentially have on this entire case after the complaint that was filed. The survivor's father has essentially said, and the breaking news now coming in, the survivor's father has said her friend misled her and took her to a vacant place under false pretext. He said the attackers also snatched his daughter's mobile phone, took about 5,000 rupees from her. These are images that came in earlier today. In fact, one student has been detained, is what we have been told. A second-year MBBS student has been taken into custody. If we can also put out the breaking news, the survivor's father has said her friend misled her, took her to a vacant place under false pretext. Now, we're going to take you through some of the details coming in, and our senior editor, Moyuk, is joining us on this broadcast. Moyuk, with regards to the details emerging, the survivor's father has actually spoken out, and he says that his daughter was taken to a vacant area with her friend. Is that the same friend that has now been taken into custody?
Yes, Shavan, this is what we are getting in from the DC East. Abhishek Gupta, who's heading the investigation of this Asansol Durgapur case. One of the students who went with this lady, the victim in this gang rape case, yesterday night at around 8:40, they were seen getting out of the campus, and just the moment they went out, this incident happened, is what we are getting in. Mamata Banerjee should be seriously concerned and worried about this incident, because the father of the victim, the father of the victim girl, who hails from Odisha, they have come here and they have broken down, and they have said that we are not feeling safe keeping our daughter here in West Bengal Medical College. We will bring her back to Odisha, and we will not let her study here in this Bengal private college. This should be a warning statement for the image of Mamata Banerjee's government and law and order situation, Shravan. Mamata Banerjee's government time and again has said that Kolkata is the safest city, Bengal is the safest city. She has even given NCRB data to prove her imagination, her claims. Time and again, she has politicized the rape, saying that there's a small incident, there's a private affair. But this time, a girl from Odisha getting gang raped in a college in West Bengal, that's a private medical college, a medical student getting raped here, and none of the accused are being arrested till now. It's almost 24 hours right now, Shravan. 8:40 last night, the incident happened. It was reported later in that night. Since morning, the police is investigating. Asansol Durgapur Police Commissionerate top cops are in this investigation, but none of the accused have been arrested. One student, rightly said, Shravan, has been detained for questioning. He's the same guy who was with this victim, who actually went with this victim last night, and possibly he knows a lot of things because he's the only one who saw the 5 men, according to the victim, 5 men dragging this girl to a nearby jungle, and then this boy he left the spot with what our sources are saying. Again, this boy came back. The lady was taken to the nearby hospital, and there the further treatment happened. Shravan.
Mohik, I'll request you to stay on with us because I'm told that the Chief Minister of Orissa has just put out a statement a short while back, and he has basically assured full assistance to be provided to the family members. And I'm quoting, he has expressed deep anguish and strongly condemned the hideous gang rape that of a Oriya student in Durgapur. He has basically directed senior officials to take necessary steps for further coordination with the West Bengal government. But there are some issues that have also been highlighted. Mayuk, a short while back, there were images that came in of severe protests actually taking place on the ground, raising questions about the manner in which it was, the investigation was being carried out. Any details as to why the family members are not satisfied with the investigation that has been carried out so far?
So, Ishavan, the basic reason is that it's been 24 hours now. Not a single arrest has already been made. Not a single arrest, not a detention concrete enough to prove that this is the man who has been the prime accused in this case. And most importantly, the father of the victim, as you have rightly quoted, he has said that they are not getting the strength to send their daughter back to this private medical college. Mamata Banerjee always says that private medical colleges, private institutions, and the government institutions in Bengal are one of the safest in India. But if this is the condition of a private medical college in West Bengal, not in a village or in a bordering district, but a proper mega city in West Bengal, Durgapur is famous for its industrial belt. It's famous for the hyper-local activities around this eastern side region. So, basically, this is the point where Mamata Banerjee should be introspecting that what is going wrong in her state. In fact, Odisha Chief Minister has also said that.
Thank you very much, Mayuk, for getting us the latest details. We'll be tracking very closely as we understand the investigation is still underway. Family members are unhappy with the way the investigation has been carried out. 24 hours on, not a single arrest that has been made by the West Bengal police. A clear rerun of what we had witnessed back in 2024 when the RG Core incident took place. A story that we'll be tracking very closely. Ladies and gentlemen, a top aide of industrialist Anil Ambani, Ashok Kumar Pal, was arrested earlier today by the Enforcement Directorate in a money laundering case. Pal, a senior executive that is linked to Reliance Power, is accused of playing a key role in issuing fake bank guarantee documents allegedly used to secure major public sector contracts worth crores of rupees. Sources are now telling Republic TV that investigators have unearthed evidence of fabricated banking papers, forged correspondence, and a complex network of shell entities that have been used to mask the trail of funds. Now, this arrest marks a significant escalation in the probe that has already exposed alleged irregularities between Reliance Power subsidiaries and government agencies. Officials say more names could soon surface as the enforcement director widens its net. Now, what I'm going to do is take you through each of the details that we have got from top sources within the enforcement directorate as to how this massive forgery was actually carried out. Just imagine a public sector undertaking was actually defrauded. It appears that there is a clear loss of caused to the public exchequer. And the details that we have are the following. A fake bank guarantee worth about 68 crore rupees was actually given to the PSU. And it turns out that there was a massive forgery that was done in terms of even bank documents that were provided by this company turned out to be completely fake. Let me now take you through the breaking news coming in. State Bank of India has informed the public sector undertaking that the documents that were received by them were fake. SBI has told the PSU that Reliance Power basically refused to even respond to the show cause notice that was issued to them. Now, this undertaking that the bank guarantee that was submitted by Reliance Power was found to be completely fake, despite repeated notices from the PSU. Reliance Power subsidiary failed to even respond, prompting the PSU to take strict action. As a result, Reliance Power was barred from participating in any tender process with the PSU for a period of 3 years following the uncovering of this massive fraud. Let me also go across to my colleague Pranav, who's joining us on this broadcast. Pranav, if you can hear me, the details that we have is shocking to say the least. It turns out that a fake bank guarantee that they had got from a bank operating out of Philippines, and they have now written to the PSU that these were fake documents. Bank stamps, seals, and the chief manager's signs were also forged.
Well, absolutely. In fact, Shravan, this just talks about the classic, case that, several cases that have been against the Anil Ambani group. In this particular case, we are talking about this official, the CFO, who had a bank guarantee that is based out of Philippines, Manila, wherein we do not even know whether, according to the ED, the office does not even exist. So Reliance Power was obviously barred from participating in bids. Now, the reason this is important is because 75% of Reliance Power shares are held by shareholders, so it affects common man. So it's just a modus operandi, probably so to say, that we are seeing at play here. If you remember, even earlier, the kind of cases that were registered against the Anil Ambani group, one of them, in fact, the State Bank of India, wherein the accounts were, labeled as fraud. And in fact, the Bombay High Court had upheld that decision. So it just reiterates, or probably, the same kind of blueprint that is now playing with the latest detention or the arrest, so to say.
Pranav, just a quick question with regards to who this person is, Ashok Pal, and why it's a significant arrest that has been made by the Enforcement Directorate.
The key man. This is the man who, according to the ED records, has been, not just ED records. Even if you just go by the authority that he exerts, the shareholders have appointed him for making financial decisions of the company. So he's an empowered man here. And if this person is going out and creating fake guarantees, it's a breach of trust to a great extent. And this is just the first case coming out. We do not even know what are the other details. These are, of course, allegations. The Anil Ambani group has so far denied all the allegations that have been, or the ED claims and the CBI claims that have been leveled against them. But then this is probably just a play out of a blueprint. And what makes this man important is the fact that he's a officially appointed person who has the powers to execute such big deals.
Very much for getting us the latest details. Pranav, just before I let you go, I'm just told that we've just got another breaking news with regards to how details of a massive fraud that has been unearthed by the Enforcement Directorate. Now, this is after a bank guarantee that was issued in the name of Reliance Power was found to be fake and not even backed by the State Bank of India records. The Reliance Power subsidiary involved failed to even respond to the PSU's notice, leading to the PSU to be blacklisted. It turns out that they were barred from even participating for 3 years. Pranav, as I understand, Reliance Power had challenged this. The matter had gone to the court. Are there any further details? Because it turns out from the documents that we have, and SECI's FIR that has been accessed by Republic TV clearly goes on to indicate that not one, multiple bank guarantees were actually fraudulent in nature.
Well, in fact, if you just go back in history, we don't need to go back too much in time. It's just worth about 17,000 crore worth of cases that we're talking about. I mean, the group has denied it, but the cases totally amount to about 17,000 crore. We have the CBI, we have the ED, both the probe agencies have been probing the companies involved, Reliance Power, Reliance Communication, and all of these companies that have significant amount of shareholding from retail investors like you and me. So, yes, we are seeing something, a larger play unfolding in front of us with ED's latest action today.
Yes, the latest details. In fact, this is the second big arrest that has actually taken place. 20 people have been questioned so far. Anil Ambani, in fact, has already been questioned by the Enforcement Directorate once. Sources say that he could be called in for questioning once again. Now, that's all that we have with regards to this story. We'll be getting you more details with regards to the story that we've been tracking very closely. Now, moving on to what's really happening inside Pakistan. Ladies and gentlemen, just about a few days ago, there were several protests that were taking place in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Not just in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, but in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir for the first time. Every nook and corner was up in arms, protesting against the rules and regulations that were brought in by the Shehbaz Sharif government. And certain promises were thereafter made by Shehbaz Sharif. In fact, the Shehbaz Sharif government has backstabbed the Awami Action Committee, the same very action committee that was spearheading the protests that were taking place in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. Shaukat Nawaz Mir has now been booked under murder charges. He is the same very person who was sitting with the negotiators coming in from the federal government in Pakistan. In fact, it basically turns out that same very person, Shaukat Mir, has now been booked under murder charges. The FIR was registered by the Sadr police station in Muzaffarabad. And this was on the violence that took place on 1st of October. Shaukat Nawaz Mir and his associates of the Awami Action Committee have been booked under 11 sections by the Sadr police. Now, AAC leadership has been charged for inciting mob, being part of the mob that killed 3 policemen. Now, this comes after promises that were made by Shehbaz Sharif's government that no cases would be registered. Not just that, they had also said that those who have been arrested would be released. Now it turns out just about 2 days later, a fresh FIR has been registered against the very person who was spearheading the protest in Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. It's a complete U-turn taken by the Shehbaz Sharif government against the Awami Action Committee. Now, linking to this also, there is more that's happening inside Pakistan. In fact, Pakistan's opposition party, that's the TLP's march that had reached Muridke. There are clashes that have taken place that have injured at least 40 policemen. Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan, that's TLP, supporters had reached Muridke as they continued attempts to reach the federal capital to stage a protest. Now, it turns out that at least 40 people have been injured. Now, the images that we have got a short while back coming in from Lahore and a few other places goes on to indicate that the situation seems to be completely out of control at this point in time, with the police being brought in, lathi charge taking place, and also what we are looking at right now is the opposition march that is taking place right now. That is being prevented. Now, why exactly are the protests taking place? Let me quickly bring in my colleague Gursimran, who's getting us the latest details. Gursimran, just walk us through the details that you're getting in right now with regards to the protest that is taking place in Lahore. I'm told a short while back there was a lathi charge that took place. A policeman opened fire in Lahore.
Yes, Shawan, if we speak of the federal government led by Shehbaz Sharif and the provincial government led by Maryam Nawaz, both the governments are trying to stop this long march of Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan. Reason being the past history of Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan, because once they have reached Islamabad in the history, they have led long siege and they have taken the entire nation into hostage-like situation. If you remember, during the Imran Khan era, it was a 21-day long siege that they had in Islamabad, and after that, the government has to come to the tables. This time they are saying that this gherao and this long march is against the United States. They have to gherao the embassy of US in Islamabad against US extending the support to Israel that was killing people, the common people in Gaza. The government of federal government of Pakistan is saying that there is no point holding such marches now because the people of Gaza are now celebrating the peace deal that has been broken by the United States president. But the chief of the Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan, Saad Rizvi, has said that 11 of our people have been killed, and with the injuries that have been reported today, over 60 people have been injured in the atrocities, in the firing and the lathi charge that has been done by the Pakistani establishment. So the establishment is trying hard to stop this long march where tens of thousands of people supporting Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan, they are on the roads of the Pakistan, and there has been a complete blockade that is being witnessed not only in Lahore but also in Islamabad and Rawalpindi, where the internet services have completely been stabbed. Schools and colleges have been closed. Public transport has come to a standstill. And now it is more or less like a siege situation that Tehreek-e-Labbaik Pakistan has created in different cities of Pakistan as their long march is now heading towards the US Embassy in Islamabad. Shawan.
Thank you very much, Gursimran, for getting us the latest details. We'll be tracking very closely. Ladies and gentlemen, from fresh strikes in Kabul to mounting tensions in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, intelligence agencies say hostile networks are sharpening their focus on infiltration routes along the line of control and the international border. The Border Security Force is reporting repeated reconnaissance by elements tied to terror outfits, and commanders warn that they are tracking launch pads and movement across the frontier with laser-like precision. Senior BSF officers in Jammu say nothing is being left to chance. The message from our troops is unambiguous. India will not tolerate any attempt to breach its sovereignty, and if provoked, will respond firmly and decisively. Take a look at this special report.
टेररिस्ट ट्रेनिंग कैंप्स के ऊपर जो हमारी सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस के द्वारा ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में हमला किया गया था, चाहे वो हमारी एयरफोर्स के द्वारा हो, हमारी आर्मी के द्वारा हो, या बीएसएफ ने यहाँ जम्मू के इलाके में लॉन्च पैड्स को टारगेट किया था, तो उन लॉन्च पैड्स पे भी उनका काफ़ी नुकसान हुआ था। और हमारे पास ऐसी कुछ खबर हैं कि उनको वो शिफ्ट कर रहे हैं, उनको दोबारा से रिवाइव करने की कोशिश की जा रही है। तो ये सारी ही जानकारी हमारे पास उपलब्ध है और समय आने पे, अवसर आने पे हम उचित कार्रवाई ज़रूर करेंगे।
Strikes in Kabul, tensions in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, and a growing threat casting a long shadow over India, one name, Pakistan.
मैं इस समय कोई स्पष्ट आंकड़ा तो आपके आगे नहीं देना चाहूँगा, लेकिन विभिन्न प्रकार से, विभिन्न सोर्सेज से हमारे पास खबर आती रहती है कि किस प्रकार जैश ए मोहम्मद हो या लश्कर तौयबा हो या टीआरएफ हो, तो इनके जो लोग इनसे जुड़े हुए हैं वो रेकी करने के लिए आते रहते हैं और उन पे करीबी निगरानी हमारी द्वारा बिल्कुल जारी है। हमें अगर अवसर प्रदान करेंगे, ये हमारी सीमा की ओर आंख उठा के भी देखेंगे, तो इनको बहुत ही करारा जवाब बीएसएफ के द्वारा दिया जाएगा।
Men and women of the Indian Armed Forces maintain relentless around-the-clock patrols along the border with Pakistan. Bristling with sophisticated weapons and advanced surveillance, BSF units are tracking both ground and airborne threats along the Indo-Pak international border.
With Pakistan facing internal turmoil in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Baluchistan as well as Pakistan-occupied Jammu and Kashmir, Pakistan may try to divert the situation to the Indo-Pakistan border, and we have seen some unusual movement of the forces that has been seen in the Sialkot, of which the Border Security Force has also taken a note of. IGBSF today said that they are well aware of the situation evolving in Pakistan and are keeping a close watch on the situation. Right now we are reporting from the Jammu section sector international border, where the troops of the border security force are carrying out round-the-clock strict vigil on the borders. They are ensuring that every attempt that is being made by the adversary is foiled well within the time, because we are speaking at a time when Pakistan is grappled with the internal turmoil as well as its northwest frontier with Afghanistan, where the situation is also raking up with the Pakistani strikes that have taken place inside Kabul.
Nothing is being left to chance. A warning comes as IGBSF Jammu Shashank Anand says Pakistan is rebuilding terror infrastructure with groups conducting reconnaissance for infiltration into Indian territory.
देखिए हमारे पड़ोसी मुल्क के कोई भी मंसूबे हों उन पे हम बहुत करीबी बारीक नज़र रखते हैं, और जो भी गतिविधियां वहाँ पे हो रही हैं वो हम उसको क्लोजली वॉच कर रहे हैं। हमारी तैयारी है, जैसा ऑपरेशन सिंदूर में सीमा सुरक्षा बल ने करके दिखाया था, अगर उनकी तरफ से कोई भी हिमाकत ऐसी होती है, चाहे घुसपैठ करने की वो कोशिश करें, तो उसका मुंह तोड़ जवाब हमारे द्वारा दिया जाएगा। हम अपने साथी सिक्योरिटी फोर्सेस के साथ, सिस्टर एजेंसीज़ के साथ लगातार समन्वय हमने बनाया हुआ है, और जो भी घटनाएं वहाँ पे हो रही हैं इसको हम क्लोजली एनालाइज कर रहे हैं।
BSF troops deployed along the Indo-Pak international border in Araspura sector of Jammu are maintaining the highest level of alert after security forces and intelligence agencies reported unusual military movement in the Sialkot area of Pakistan.
देखिए, सीमा सुरक्षा बल तो पूरे ही साल चाहे कोई भी दिन हो हम हाई अलर्ट पे रहते हैं। जो भी मूवमेंट्स सीमा पार हो रही हैं उनको हम कॉरबोरेट कर रहे हैं, वेरीफाई कर रहे हैं, और जो भी ज़रूरी रिस्पांस उसके संदर्भ में होगा वो कदम हम ज़रूर उठाएंगे।
The mission is clear and so is the intent. This is New India. We will not initiate aggression, but if need arises, India will retaliate on our enemy's soil. Operation Sindoor was just one example of that, and India will act again if required.
Well, that's all that we can pack in this edition of This Is Exclusive. Coming up trending with my colleague Rakshita.